So, you want to own a supermarket, feed your city, build a local staple. Everyone needs groceries every single week. It sounds like a guaranteed gold mine. You put food on the shelves, customers fill their carts and pay. But this is not a simple shop. It is a massive logistics machine, a brutal game of pennies and seconds. Let's look at the real grocery math. Supermarkets deal with massive revenue numbers. A typical store makes millions annually, but the net profit margin is microscopic. Most stores operate on 2%, 2 cents out of every dollar. Make $1 million in sales? You might keep just 20,000, sometimes even less. This means volume is your only savior. You need thousands of customers constantly. Let's actually build a supermarket from scratch. First, you need a massive physical location. Grocery stores require huge square footage. Buying the building is wildly expensive. Leasing costs tens of thousands monthly. Then comes the commercial equipment. Industrial refrigerators that never turn off. Miles of metal shelving for products. Point-of-sale systems and barcode scanners. Build-out alone can cost millions, before you even buy the first apple. Next, you face your biggest invisible enemy, the utility bill. Refrigeration eats massive amounts of electricity. A mid-sized store pays fortunes for power. Then there is the massive payroll cost. Cashiers, stockers, butchers, and managers. A store needs staff all day long. Add taxes and benefits to those wages. Labor eats up a huge revenue chunk. Now, let's look at the actual food. This is an inventory management nightmare. You are selling highly perishable items, fresh meat, dairy, and ripe vegetables. They are ticking time bombs of value. If meat does not sell, it rots, and your profit goes in the trash. The industry calls this loss shrinkage. Shrinkage includes spoiled food and broken items. It also includes shoplifting and employee theft. Shrinkage averages about 3% of sales. Remember your net profit margin? Shrinkage can wipe it out completely. So, how do supermarkets actually make money? Not everything has a 2% margin. Let's break down store profitability by department. Everyday staples like milk and eggs, these are often sold at a loss. They are called loss leaders. They bring customers into the store, but the store loses money on them. The real profit hides elsewhere. Look at the health and beauty aisle. Vitamins and cosmetics have huge markups, sometimes 40 to 50% margins. The in-house bakery is another goldmine. Flour and water cost almost nothing. A baked loaf sells for $4. Prepared hot foods are highly profitable too. You sell convenience, not just raw ingredients. This dictates supermarket layout psychology. Why is milk always at the back? Because everyone wants to buy milk. They must walk past profitable items first. The fresh produce is right up front. Bright colors make you feel hungry. Expensive cereals are placed at eye level. Cheaper bulk brands are on bottom shelves. Supermarkets are heavily optimized sales traps. But there is a secret revenue stream. It is called a slotting fee. Supermarkets charge brands for prime shelf space. Want your soda at eye level? You must pay the supermarket directly. Large chains make billions from these fees. Sometimes shelf space is more profitable than the actual groceries themselves. The supermarket becomes a real estate broker, renting tiny physical spaces to food corporations. Then comes the battle over payment processing. Credit card fees destroy grocery margins. Swiping a card costs 2%. If your net margin is 2%, the bank takes your entire profit. This is why loyalty programs exist. They push you to use store apps. Loyalty cards track your purchasing habits. Data is incredibly valuable in this business. They know exactly when you buy diapers. They send targeted coupons to keep you. Now, let's talk about grocery delivery apps. Delivery seems like financial salvation, but picking and packing costs extra labor. Third-party apps take huge commission cuts. Supermarkets cannot survive a huge cut, so they quietly inflate prices online. A $3 item becomes $4. The customer ultimately pays the delivery tax. Why do new supermarkets actually fail? Usually, it is a supply chain collapse, growing too fast without warehouse infrastructure. Empty shelves destroy consumer trust instantly. If people cannot buy everything they need, they will simply drive to a competitor, and they might never come back again. A supermarket requires flawless daily execution. A local economic downturn hurts too. When inflation spikes, customers switch to generics. They buy fewer premium cuts of meat. Store revenue drops, but fixed costs remain. Rent and electricity do not care about inflation. Owning a supermarket is not about food. It is a data and logistics game. You manage real estate and employee schedules. You optimize cold chains and shelf space. It requires massive capital and strict discipline. A small mistake scales across thousands of items, but if you solve the puzzle correctly, you build a deeply rooted community asset, a business that generates consistent cash flow. Regardless of trends, everyone has to eat. Master the logistics, and you win the market. Subscribe for more financial insights.